That we talked about in the previous video was structure. So structure is, how is our classroom set up? What are some of the goals that we have, um, and some of the culture we want to build within our classroom? So the first thing is, in my classroom, again, a lot of this will be centered around science and physics, but this can easily be uh, put into, a humanities course like a social studies class, or an English class, ELA class, or any other class out there. First thing is, my structure is that the goal is for the students, it's a mastery based learning style. So mastery based learning means they get some information, they do some activities, and then ultimately they're going to take a mastery check, in which they have to score at least get an 80, right, grade wise, on the mastery check to move on to kind of the next section of assignments. I do use a flipped classroom. There's going to be some more about that later, but the students are asked to watch those videos first, and then they come in. Assignments will be opened up for them as they complete those assignments, and then we move on from there. The second thing is, I follow what is the Modern Classrooms Project, which is their model called the must do, should do, aspire to do model. So the way it's structured is that a must do assignment is one in which shows direct mastery or will lead to mastery of the content. Again, this, in a physics classroom for me, it's answering some, conceptual based questions, multiple choice questions that could be from an old AP test. It's doing lab activities, right? Those are things that will show the mastery from those videos that they have to watch. It's also, doing some worksheets, some old school worksheets, right? Not everything has to be technology based. So some good old school, like, free response question worksheets, in which then maybe we grade it together, or we look at the scoring guideline together. Should do assignments are ones that aren't generally graded, but it will help them further understand the material. So for me as an AP teacher, it could be assigning them an assignment on AP Classroom in which they get old AP questions, so they have those at their disposal. It could also be, a writing assignment, okay? And then the aspire to do are just, for those kids that are really like above and beyond, they want to know more, they want to do more. It could be a project, it could be, more learning some of those AP physics skills, such as like linearization of data, also being able to solve equations, just some things like that, math review, just things that they aspire to do to get that much better. And then all the activities are going to be housed in Google Classroom. And you could see with the must do, should do, aspire to do, they're color coded. So the green, that the students know, hey, this is one I have to do. The red and the blue are ones that they don't have to do, but like the should do, you probably should do it because it's probably something relevant. And then aspire to do the ones that go above and beyond. Now, what I've done, and I failed to mention this in the intro video, but what I've done on some of the slides, especially when you get this slide deck, there are links to articles or videos or other resources that if you want to explore more, and they each kind of go along with some of these bullet points. So for example, here, mastery-based learning is the student with the light bulb. Like, oh, I got it. I've mastered the content. The must do, should do, aspire to do will send you to a link from Modern Classrooms Project, talking about this model more, about the must do, should do, and aspire to do. And of course, all activities are going to be Google Classroom, but what I did is I linked to an article about using Google Classroom specifically in a blended learning environment. And we'll get more into the technology as we go. But this is the first pillar, known as